I am a Christian. This means I am starting with the understanding that God became a man named Jesus. We do evil deeds, but Jesus died and rose as the means to forgive us all of our evil deeds. I like to witness about Jesus. Furthermore, I enjoy learning about other worldviews. Some worldviews that constantly astound me are the perspectives of atheists, agnostics, and skeptics. In this video, I am going to clarify what abstract concepts are. I will talk about skepticism. I will discuss a thought experiment about being skeptical of God compared to being skeptical of an abstract concept. Recently, I made a video about a similar thought experiment. I will put a link to this video in the description. People provided thoughtful feedback and comments. In that short 2.5-minute video, I dove straight into the point. This video is longer. I am purposely making it longer in the hopes that I can clear up some confusion about abstract concepts. What is an abstract concept? Google defines an abstract concept as an idea that people can understand that has no physical form. Webster's dictionary defines abstract as separate, existing only in the mind, not concrete. What are examples of abstract concepts? Logic, science, mathematics, confusion, doubt, honesty, the game of basketball, thoughts, morality, time, death, and love. In contrast, what are examples of concrete nouns? Anything we can use our 5 senses upon is concrete. A Bible, a dictionary, a liar, a basketball, a dead body, a clock, and a hug. Countless authors have written about the abstract. When someone sings, "And I will always love you," that person is singing about an abstract concept. We can see a person giving a hug, but we cannot see love. We cannot use our 5 senses on love. When a poet writes, "Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me," that poet is writing about an abstract concept. We can see a dead body, but we cannot see death. We cannot use our 5 senses on death. There are countless additional examples of abstract concepts. If there is still a misunderstanding on this subject, I recommend pausing this video and then reading further about distinguishing between things that are concrete and abstract concepts. Deciding when to feel no skepticism at all sometimes is difficult. It is not easy to say how much evidence is enough evidence. Although, whenever we do feel skeptical, all skepticism has similarities. Does love exist? Do hugs exist? Does God exist? Instead of saying something is or something is not, a skeptic suspends his judgment. A skeptic suspends his judgment on saying whether or not love exists. A skeptic suspends his judgment on saying whether or not hugs exist. A skeptic suspends his judgment on saying whether or not God exists. All skepticism has similarities. Does death exist? Do dead bodies exist? Does God exist? Instead of knowing with confidence what the answer is to these questions, a skeptic feels the emotion of doubt. A skeptic feels the emotion of doubt about death existing. A skeptic feels the emotion of doubt about dead bodies existing. A skeptic feels the emotion of doubt about God existing. I am now going to move on to the thought experiment. Logic is an abstract concept. This thought experiment is about someone who is skeptical of the existence of logic. Imagine Mr. Ridiculous. He is extremely skeptical. Mr. Ridiculous is an intelligent man who has worked with many philosophers. Mr. Ridiculous is invited to a huge conference for philosophers to share their ideas. When it is his turn to speak with everyone, he starts by saying he does not even call himself a philosopher anymore. He explains that he has learned much about skepticism. Mr. Ridiculous tells the philosophers he is so skeptical that he now does not believe logic exists. He says, "There is no proof that logic exists. I have a lack of belief there is logic. I cannot use my 5 senses on logic. Anyone here is welcome to try to provide me evidence that logic exists. Many people here say there is logic, but I haven't found any evidence to support such a claim. As a skeptic, I simply do not believe there is logic." Then here is my question. You are skeptical that God exists. Mr. Ridiculous is skeptical that logic exists. How is your way of thinking any different? You are welcome to take some time to consider how your worldview compares. Respectful comments are welcome.